Do you guys remember Lawbreakers? This was a title, guys, that came out from Cliffy B and his studio that he created. And I want to talk about, Lawbreakers, and could this ever make a return? Could we ever get a sequel to this title? Because I feel like it was a game that had a lot of really cool elements to it, and I would have loved to see a continuation of it in the future. So let's talk about what happened here to Lawbreakers, and could we ever see a continuation in the future? Let's get into it. So guys, in an article that's coming to us from Oysen Kunik of VG247.com, Cliff Bleszinski, director of the hero shooter Lawbreakers, was shut down in 2018, seemingly wants to bring the game back. I'm not going to judge you if you don't remember Lawbreakers, as not many people even played the game. But now, 5 years after the game shut down, Bleszinski is trying to bring it back. Publisher Nexon, who's been in the news recently for lawsuit-related reasons, owns the rights to Lawbreakers, having originally published the game and not having sold off the IP at any point. As a result, Bleszinski just flat out tweeted at Nexon's CEO asking about a revival. Well, turns out Nexon does own the rights to Lawbreakers, wrote Bleszinski before tagging Nexon CEO Owen Mahoney and saying, "How about sliding into my DMs so we can talk about the resurrection?" Mahoney hasn't responded to the tweet at the time of writing, but unless that guy that runs Twitter decides to make everyone's DMs public, we won't know if they had any contact or not. It seems that Bleszinski doesn't actually want to run the game itself. He just wants to try bringing the IP back. In response to a Twitter user asking behind the game designer's intentions, Bleszinski wrote, "I'm over being CEO and lead designer. Shiz is exhausting, but if a third party wants to resurrect it with Nexon, I'm down for consulting." Lawbreakers came out at a pretty bad time. For one, it was released just a year after Overwatch, another hero shooter that obviously proved very popular, and PUBG Battlegrounds was released just a few months after Lawbreakers, popularizing the Battle Royale genre. This one's important as bosskeyproductions, Bleszinski's studio, tried to make its own Battle Royale, Radical Heights, in an obvious rush to tap into the genre. Paired with Lawbreakers' failure and Radical Heights not performing well either, Bosskeyproductions was shut down. According to Bleszinski himself, Lawbreakers failed because it was too woke, but maybe it's just better to accept the world didn't need, and probably still doesn't need, another generic shooter. So look, at my personal opinion, guys, Lawbreakers, yes, it came out at a pretty bad time. It reminds me of like a Titanfall 2 when that was released. It came out like between Call of Duty and Battlefield. It just didn't make a lot of sense. And so a lot of people who love Call of Duty were playing that game. A lot of people who love Battlefield played that game. And this other shooter, that being Titanfall 2, which was awesome, by the way, did not get the exposure it deserved. So with Lawbreakers, it feels very, very similar. And Bosskeyproductions, I just feel like it was mismanaged in terms of, releasing Lawbreakers and Radical Heights, which were two games that I actually think were awesome, but they were chasing more of a trend than anything else. And I think that was ultimately its demise. Instead of trying to be its own thing, it was trying to chase these trends that we were seeing in the gaming industry. And that's what I think ultimately left it to its demise. Could Lawbreakers make a return? I absolutely think it could. And should it? I definitely think it should. I think it should be a game that's at least out there and exists out there. And I even think Radical Heights should be a game that should be existent as well and fully serviced and things of that nature. And so I would love to see this happen in the future. What do you guys think, though? I feel that we as the community need to voice this and echo these things into existence. If you guys want to see, Lawbreakers make a return and maybe even potentially have a sequel at some point or another. Let me know what you guys think about Lawbreakers in the comment section down below. Do you think this will ever return to the fray? Let me know. And for more Lawbreakers content and videos, stay here with zrotv.